तक हम रहेंगे सर पटकते।
अब वेदांतु देगा प्रॉब्लम से छुटकारा।
Hi kids!
समझ आएगा तो मजा आएगा, मजा आएगा तो समझ आएगा। बढ़िया टीचर्स प्रॉब्लम्स चुटकी में सुलझाएंगे, डाउट सारी जिंदगी से
Raj, I got your doubt. This is your answer.
समझ आएगा तो मजा आएगा, मजा आएगा तो
Vedantu. Learn live online. To attend a free live class, download the app now.
Hey students, good evening, namaste and welcome to another session of our class 10 ICSE biology series. This is Ambika, master teacher of biology here at Vedantu. How are you all? Yes, hello Sumit. Good evening Mansi. Okay, great to see all of you again after quite a gap. I haven't been able to do live sessions for quite some time. Hello, Evercool. Hi, Hasini. Hi, Anjuman, Poonam, Deval. Yes, hello and good evening to all of you. And I'm supposing, yes, I am good, Angel. Thank you very much. Good evening. Yes, as I said, just continuing from where I stopped, because of my condition of chronic laryngitis, I haven't been able to do live sessions, basically because I have been advised to take a very short break after every few minutes of class. But yes, of course, after a few days, I think for about 10 days, that's how I was doing session. I was doing only recorded sessions for you all. But now I can feel that my voice is a little better. In fact, much better than what it was a couple of weeks ago. But again, I've been advised to take care of it in such a way that I do not overuse it, especially because I'm so passionate about teaching. I tend to get very excited when I'm in class, especially when I'm doing live sessions, that I may end up forgetting and having control over my voice. So that's the only thing. Just in case, children, my voice breaks in between, or I feel dehydrated in between. I mean, my vocal cords feel dehydrated in between. I may take a very short pause, just taking a little bit of advanced bail. Okay, in that sense, I may just pause to go take a sip of water. But yes, I am very much part of your session. Thank you very much once again for joining me today, children. Again, for those of you who have been attending sessions regularly, ICSE sessions regularly, you are perhaps aware that today will be our last actual teaching session as per our syllabus of ICSE. 14 chapters is a huge thing. We divided it into 15 chapters, yes. So as a whole, we have had about 14 or 15 chapters of ICSE biology. I hope all of these sessions have helped you in a lot of sense to do your pre-boards much better. But at a larger level, I would love to hear from you that they have been helping you in boosting your confidence for your board exam. Yes, guys? Yes. Thank you very much, Mansi. Yes, Bar Brothers, India. Hi, Saida. Edumantra. Yes. Okay, hi Ayush, long time. Yes. So nice to see, it feels so good to see live chats after such a long time. All these days I was just alone in the studio and talking to the camera and just reading your comments as and when the sessions were being premiered. But much more than that, I couldn't interact with you, right? So let's not waste any more time. Let us get started with our very last session for the ICSE biology teaching syllabus. Okay, of course, we will have sessions every day, continuing just as we were Monday to Friday. But today we are going to be completing our portions. Okay, so do keep an eye on the schedule to have an idea about what we are going to have a day in advance or a week in advance. It will be out there on the community page, so do not miss out looking at that. Yes, good evening to all of you. How do I start without giving you a positive quote, right? This is what I want to tell you today. If it's important to you, you will definitely find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. Yes, children, this is true for all of us, because if you have been putting off something and finding excuses, it means somewhere at the back of my mind that is not very important to you. You feel something else is more important, and that is why your subconscious mind is actually making you stay away from certain actually very important things. Okay, so make sure, yes, make sure you find your priorities, make sure you understand your priorities well enough. For the time being, I would certainly remind you that you are in the last 2 months preparation before your board exams. 2 months from now, you will be writing your ICSE class 10 board exams, right? So keeping that in mind, make sure you stay away from all kinds of distractions, stay away from social media. Okay, completely. Ultimately, of course, when the results come out, or even when your exams are just done, you can certainly reward yourself. So until then, do not find any excuse. Focus on what is most important so that you do not regret in your future. Yes? Okay. And as you have been seeing this, these are our 2019 toppers, and definitely you will also be able to come up to that level. We have been working very, very hard for you to help you boost your confidence, to understand concepts better, especially for biology ICSE. We have what are called the micro courses. Yes, so all you have to do is just go to the link that's given in the description box below, and the best feature is that all of these are available for you. Chapter wise features of all of these are available to you at a price that starts as low as rupees 11. Okay, I don't think anything can be better than that, because great quality content at such an affordable price. All that you have to do is use this code AMMIC to avail a great discount and get great content at your fingertips at a very reasonable price. We also have what is called the crash course. For ICSE class 10, we have it for the subjects physics, chemistry, biology and math. Okay, and we have live classes by the best teachers, some of the best teachers of the country. We have all of these features, comprehensive tests, assignments. You can interact with our expert academic mentors, with our teachers. The best thing is you can also have have access to the replay or recording of the classes that you have missed. And of course, more and more like important tips and tricks, rank booster quizzes, past paper analysis, all of which is important to you at this point of time. This is stepwise of what you are supposed to do to get a subscription to the crash course or enroll in our crash course. And again, you can go to the link and use the code AMCC. Okay, so that you get it at a very, very attractive price of 7,999 only. Physics, chemistry, math, bio, all the 4 subjects, the entire syllabus of your class 10 ICSE. Yes, and as you know, the Vedantu Learning app has been awarded the User's Choice App Award 2019. Do keep using it. We keep upgrading great content on the app very, very regularly. So do keep using it and join our Telegram group for updates, and do stay in touch with us regarding any of your academic queries, and we will be there to answer them. All you have to do is go to the link, visit the link which is below in the description box, and join the group. Yes, and yes, Edu Mantra, I'm not sure if I know you. Of course, we are always here to help you, Zia the legend. Okay, if you have been enjoying our sessions, do hit the like button right now. Share it with all your friends. Dear children, at this point, this is a request from my side, because affordable content is here on the Vedantu 9 and 10 channel. Affordable and good quality content. Affordable in the sense anyone can just come to the channel, subscribe to the channel and just watch our sessions. That's it. You don't pay anything, right? So just share our links with all your friends so that their board exams become much easier. And of course, do remember to subscribe, and do remind your friends to subscribe to our channel Vedantu 9 and 10 so that you do not miss out on any of our updates. Okay, yes, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for all the love and support. Okay, of course, we are always here to help you. Okay, Arohi, yes, have a look at the homework question I had given you in the previous session. What is the use of unleaded petrol. Okay. Tell how we will not use social media. Zia the legend, please have a look at my motivation video in the Students Corner on wherein I'm talking about how to stay away from distractions. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's not deviate from our topic for the day. Yes, these are the answers that I got. The first couple of answers that I got related to the question from Bhavi Basu and Aniket Yadav. Okay, Bhavi says unleaded petrol does not cause much pollution in the environment. It prevents the risk of getting respiratory diseases from pollutions. It contains less harmful substances and it does not produce fumes in the atmosphere. I think that is well explained, which is definitely the use of unleaded petrol as compared to normal petrol which contains lead, because lead, when it's released into the atmosphere, into the air, can cause a lot of respiratory disorders and other disorders, a lot of which are harmful to animals and humans alike. And Aniket also says it's used for combustion process and emits a lot of pollution. Okay, thank you very much guys for your answers. So rest of you do stay with me till the end of the session. I have one more homework question. Now again, because today will be our last teaching session for class 10 ICSE, do stay with me until the very end. Let's see who is going to give me the first answer to today's very special session. Okay, yes, thank you very much Simran. Hi Nitin. Okay, with that, let's just quickly recap what we did in the previous class. We have looked at what pollution is, what pollutants are, right? Addition of any unwanted substances in the environment which can cause adverse effects on the environment, including human beings, raw material sources, and so on. And pollutants are those agents or substances which are introduced into the environment and adversely affect the environment. Basically, agents which cause pollution are called pollutants. Okay, so what is pollution? What is pollutant? And we know pollutants can either be biodegradable or non-biodegradable, right? All of you definitely remember that much. Yes, this is indeed an ICSE video. Okay, it will be a little bit somewhere or the other, it will be related to the CBSE chapter Sustainable Management of Natural Resources, not completely though, in terms of pollution measures, control measures and all that, a little bit of similarity. Okay, all right, now let's understand what are the effects. Okay, yes, effects and control measures of various types of pollution. This is basically what we are going to understand in today's session. Different types of pollution, right? In the last session, we have seen air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, radioactive pollution, noise pollution, all of these things, all of which have their own harmful effects. And certainly, as individuals, there is a lot that we can do. There is a lot which is in our own control, which can reduce pollution up to a great extent and make use of our natural resources judiciously. Yes, let's look at some of them now. Air pollution, it's called the silent killer because the air that we inhale in today's world, I've told you this in my previous session also, in metropolitan cities, especially in India, there is a lot of pollution. Developed cities in India, right? There is a lot of pollution on a daily basis. We are not aware of what all harmful stuff I'm sorry, is going inside our respiratory tract, correct? Yes, I'm sorry guys. No, there will not be a Menti quiz today, Ankur. You can expect one sometime in the next few days, within the next few days, okay? Yes, Delhi is a very good example of one of the most polluted cities of India, right? Even vision is affected, right? Because visibility, I mean not vision, visibility is affected because of smog. Smoke and fog together form what we call smog. Now you can look at this chart and this is some data wherein it says every year around 7 million deaths occur due to exposure from both outdoor and household air pollution. Many times we may end up thinking that if we are indoors, if we are inside the house, we are very safe. But unfortunately, these days, there's no guarantee in that. How can you practically walk around with a microscope and keep observing every single milliliter of air that you are taking in? Definitely impractical, right? So there is a lot of harmful stuff out there in the air. What is it that we can do? We will come to that. But yes, this is a fact. Roughly 7 million deaths occur all over the world just because of air pollution. Okay, almost every year. Now, this is some data about the levels of pollution, okay, and how many deaths occur in different parts. Yes, regional estimates according to WHO regional grouping. You can see maximum or highest is in parts of Asia, in which India is also included, right? This dark part in Southeast Asia region, it's over 2 million. Over 2 million in Western Pacific region, nearly 1 million in the African region, and so on and on and on. Unfortunately, we live in one of the most polluted parts of the world. Yes. Hi to all of you who have joined my session late. Yes, Ayush. All right, I will see you later. Yes, crazy Vaibhav. Okay, so that's about the harmful effects of air pollution, and we know it can cause a stroke, it can cause heart diseases, it can cause different types of cancer, right? Lung cancer. All of you who go to movie theaters regularly would know. They keep talking about, they give notifications about how smoking causes cancer, smoking kills, all that, right? Similarly, all kinds of air pollution can cause lung cancer, not just smoking. Of course, smoking is something that's in your control completely. But even apart from that, all other sources of pollution can also cause respiratory diseases, including asthma. Now, me personally, I can tell you my experience, right? It's been 7 years since I've been living in Bangalore. Until about 2 years ago, I wasn't an allergic person, but in the last 2 years, because of the increasing pollution in Bangalore, I have become very sensitive and allergic. That's one of the reasons why my respiratory system has become very weak as compared to what it was earlier. Yes, soil pollution is also a cause of air pollution. Yes, all of these are interconnected. Okay, so what can we do as a remedy for air pollution? Okay, yes. Hi Manjula, Angad. Okay, so these are a few things that we can possibly and practically follow, like for example, make greener and more compact cities with energy efficient buildings, right? We are building so many buildings around in a lot of places in India. As long as we keep in mind the energy efficiency, it's all right. Buildings that way are definitely not harmful. Okay, and then reduce agricultural waste, incineration, forest fires, certain agroforestry activities, all of that. And yes, provide universal access to clean, affordable fuels and technologies for cooking, heating and lighting. Yes, all of these. And public transport system, pedestrian and cycle friendly networks. I think as compared to what India was many years ago, of course, there have been a lot of changes, many of which have been positive in the sense that we do see a lot of carpooling and people who prefer to walk rather than take motor vehicles, and people who prefer to cycle rather than use their two-wheelers, motorbikes, and so on. But as this step mentioned here says, our place, our cities or our towns, even if it's villages, towns, whatever it is, have to be made more cycle friendly and pedestrian friendly. Okay, so that there is a lot of safety involved. And improve waste management, very important, right? For any kind of pollution, not just for air pollution, any kind of pollution, waste management certainly plays a very huge role. Yes, guys? Okay, very good to know, Manjula. All right. Yes, Simran. Okay, come back to the session, guys. I will be focusing a little less on the chats because we have to finish this on time. Next sessions are lined up and our next teachers are waiting. Our next students are also waiting. So let's not waste any more time. Okay, and invest in energy efficient power generation. All of these are a few solutions that we can follow in order to reduce air pollution. Of course, as an individual, there are a few things that we can do, like reducing the use of machines, like gym equipment, which make use of a lot of machines, mechanical stuff like motor run stuff and all of that. Cycling, running, all of those can help boost your physical fitness, while at the same time improving energy efficiency when you look at the environment as a whole, right? Now coming to water pollution, okay? Water pollution has all of these impacts, among many others, of course. It can affect urban and domestic use. Yes, you know, water scarcity can be a problem, right? Overuse can lead to this problem, and cleanup costs will also be too much if water is heavily polluted. And human health, beyond say, we know that, right? But this is one thing that I can proudly say because I'm from the state of Kerala. Most restaurants in Kerala, however low class, middle class or high class they may be, most restaurants in Kerala usually serve hot water while you go sit down to have a meal. But I haven't seen this in any other part of India at all. I find that as a very, very healthy practice, not just in restaurants, even at home. As long as you boil and cool the water, drinking water, to the normal levels, normal temperature levels, it is very, very safe to use. Okay? Yes, Sahil. Okay? All right, that's about human health. Social values and tourism, right? We want all our water bodies out there to keep promoting tourism. We don't want anything to shut down just because of water pollution. For example, yesterday, because it was New Year, my husband, my daughter and I went to Alsur Lake in Bangalore just for a walk. We thought there is boating there, but looks like because of a lot of reasons, like a lot of management related reasons and maintenance related reasons, they have shut down boating 5 years ago. We were not aware of that. So that's just a small example. We don't want that to happen, right? We want a lot of recreation. You children and future generations also have to have access to a lot of recreation which is nature related. And for that, optimum management of pollution is very, very essential. And commercial fisheries. There is a huge sector in India which is heavily dependent on fisheries, especially coastal parts of India. So that will be affected if there is too much of water pollution. Ecosystem health, industrial productivity, agricultural productivity, property values, all of these, value of basically waterfront property which can decline because of unsightly pollution and odor. Okay, so all of these are harmful effects of water pollution. Effects of water pollution, I would say, because there is definitely no useful effect for water pollution. Yes. Okay. Now, control of water pollution. Okay. What can we do to possibly manage water pollution or prevent water pollution or even control it up to a certain extent? What is it that as an individual we can do? Taking bath from drinking water sources should certainly be prohibited. This is common in many parts of India. Of course, people are becoming more aware now, but there should be more awareness on such things. Separate ponds and tanks should be reserved for water supply to animals so that they also, poor things, they are very, very innocent compared to human beings, right? Animals do not know how to be selfish in terms of natural resources. So let's always have unpolluted separate reserves to supply water to animals. Domestic and farmyard sewage should be suitably treated before releasing them into water, right? Very, very important again. And overuse of fertilizers and pesticides. We've seen how runoff from soil, from agricultural lands can lead to penetration of fertilizers and pesticides into water bodies. Yes, so all of that unnecessary use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides have to be prevented, have to be avoided. These are a few methods of controlling water pollution. Now, soil pollution. Of course, this background picture here gives you the basic gist of what can happen if soil pollution occurs. Definitely, soil loses its fertility, right? So what happens when soil is not at all fertile? It's useless. It's as good as nothing at all. It's unfit for agriculture, unfit for anything. And soil bacteria are killed, and because of that it happens like a vicious cycle. When there are no soil bacteria, soil quality keeps deteriorating even more. How do you control soil pollution? Again, many of which are similar to water and air pollution control. Yes, not good for crops. Yes, Arish. Exactly, right? So how do you control soil pollution? Of course, a few simple things are like controlling or disposing of biomedical waste. Like I have seen a lot of hospitals across many different parts of India which just carelessly dispose of syringes and a lot of bandages and all of those stuff which have another infected person's pus, wounds and all of those things, which are a huge source of infection. People just throw it out. Unfortunately, many hospitals do not manage their waste intelligently or smartly, and that leads to soil pollution. And not just that, people and animals who are walking along that soil, many Indians still walk bare feet, and animals definitely they walk bare feet, right? Poor things, they may end up getting infected from those needles and bandages unnecessarily without knowing at all. So all that careful disposal and management has to be taken care of. And like I said earlier, fertilizers and pesticides. Yes, Zia, pesticides should not be used in huge amounts. And certainly plastics, the use of plastics and all of those non-biodegradable stuff have to be minimized, and if at all you are using them, intelligently dispose them off. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Very, very, very important. Yes, exactly. Afforestation. Very good, Ashish. Afforestation is also a very good way of controlling soil pollution. Okay? Exactly. Okay, so all of these are just examples. I'm sure if you just give it some thought during your exam time, if you are asked to explain this with a little thought along these lines, whatever I have told you, you will be able to write some answer. Okay, when you get some time, have a look at what I have put on the slide also. Okay, it's not necessary that I tell you each of these in detail, because very simple, all of you can certainly understand it. Now coming to radiation. Yes, what are the harmful effects of radiation? One major effect these days of radiation is cancer. There are so many sources of radiation that the number of patients affected by cancer is so much on the rise. I think at least 15-20 years ago, cancer used to be a very, very rare thing that we heard of. As I grew up, I don't remember hearing much about cancer, but probably in the last 10-15 years, we hear this so much, the word cancer, and the number of patients getting admitted to the cancer ward, even the pediatric cancer ward. It's very, very sad to see so many children, innocent children, getting affected to the cancer ward, the pediatric cancer ward. Yes, different kinds of cancer for that matter. Whatever it is, for different people it's different, but I would blame all of that to not just to radiation. Of course, radiation has a huge role to play. Like I said in the last session, mobile phones, Wi-Fi radiation, mobile signals, all of that does have a role to play. But apart from that, whatever toxins enter our body, right? Because the pesticides and fertilizers that we take in, unnoticeably they are part of our food on a daily basis. Unless you have your own yard wherein you have your own agricultural land and you have your own stuff growing there, it's very, very risky. You never know what you're eating. Anyone can be affected by this in today's world. Yes, exactly, toxicity. So all of these are different levels which can cause different forms of illnesses. Like for example, this talks about the Chernobyl workers who died within a month. It's a very, very famous case, the Chernobyl case. And yes, it says a lot of other things, sickness, nausea, and many other things. Like I told you in the previous session, full body CT scan, an X-ray, all of these are sources of radiation which can cause issues to the thyroid gland, inflammation and scarring of the lungs, issues to the RBCs, stomach, like I said, vomiting, nausea, internal bleeding and all that, intestinal disorders, diarrhea, intestinal bleeding again, bone marrow issues, which means your RBCs will not be formed normally. And because of all of these, we tend to get a lot of indirect problems, right? Human beings no longer are able to live to their fullest health capabilities. Whatever is available in the label of superfoods also these days, you never know what you're eating, right? Yes. So what do we do to control radiation pollution? There are a few things that we can do, and the government can also do. Proper storage and disposal of nuclear wastes, increase the use of less harmful energy sources, and more importantly, or most importantly, global understanding and awareness about ill effects. Yes, Urvi, I do agree that radioactivity can help us cure it as well. Chemotherapy and all of those sessions which do help in curing cancer are also useful. I'm not saying it's completely harmful, because all these years, in the last hundreds of years, human beings have been living with exposure to radioactivity. But all that I'm saying is, I think because of the rise in technology and unnecessary increase in use of mobile phones and a lot of other gadgets, we are just experiencing an overexposure to radiation. This is more for ICSE students, Nipun. So like I said, a few of these will be useful as far as your chapter Sustainable Management of Natural Resources is concerned. Okay? Yes. Okay, yes, a lot of research is happening in the treatment of cancer, all of these. But yes, as I said, awareness at a global level is very, very important, because even when we hear about a lot of cancer cases, somewhere at the back of my mind, we end up thinking that, okay, that's just someone else. I'm not going to get affected by this for sure. But that's not the case. Unfortunately, each of us has to be aware that cancer and any such harmful stuff can happen to any one of us at any age group. Yes, and now about noise pollution. We have discussed this in the previous session. Also, noise pollution consequences can cause temporary or permanent deafness due to continuous exposure of your ears to a lot of noise, mobile phones or vehicles, right? Secondly, I remember telling you in the previous session, people just become restless and lethargic and irritated because they are exposed to too much of noise, and it can affect the growth of plants. You know, plants are just, they do not have feelings like human beings or other animals do, but it's a proven fact that plants grow optimally when they are in a peaceful atmosphere free of noise pollution. Okay, so that's what this is. Okay, and the next point is, too much of noise can also weaken buildings and bridges because of the waves noise can create that can pose threat to construction, right? Yes, and then it can reduce learning and reading. I remember one of my students telling me in one of my live sessions, that they are unable to focus on studies because his or her area is very, very highly noisy. So, ma'am, what can I do? I cannot be away from such distractions. So, I can understand up to an extent it's very, very difficult. You can't just go out and tell people to stop doing their personal things, whatever the source of noise may be. This can result in low subject score. As funny as it may seem, it is a fact. Okay, I must tell you, especially in India, it can be a fact. Now, apart from all these, at a global level, there is a bigger problem. Ozone layer depletion. Now, what is the ozone layer? Look at that. Okay, have a look at this. We know our atmosphere is made up of many different layers, right? The troposphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, and the thermosphere. Now in this you can see that the stratosphere has a very special layer. This is a stratosphere. This is the troposphere, the very first layer. Secondly, the stratosphere, which has an important layer called the ozone layer. What does it do? It's basically the Earth's natural sunscreen. I like to call it the Earth's natural sunscreen. Yes, because it can protect our planet, it can protect the Earth from the harmful UVA and UVB radiations. Yes, but unfortunately, because of the rise in refrigerators, air conditioners, and all such things, we are unknowingly emitting a harmful chemical which is called chlorofluorocarbons. Okay, chlorofluorocarbons, which we can abbreviate as CFCs. Okay, so unknowingly we are releasing a lot of CFCs into the atmosphere. Okay, so when the level of CFCs, yes, very good. All of you seem to be knowing what CFCs are. Now, when there is too much of CFCs in the atmosphere, this is what would happen. Look at that, CFCs, etc. There are similar chemicals, harmful chemicals like CFCs, which we do emit on a daily basis. When there is too much of them, it causes holes in the ozone layer. That is what we call ozone layer depletion. And because there is a hole in the ozone layer, it means that the sun's rays are not getting filtered. They are just directly reaching our planet, and they can be a source of skin cancer. Yes, guys. Now let's look at how this occurs. Okay, not exactly important for you from an exam perspective, but for you to understand so that you will never forget about this. CFC is basically when they are released by industries and from home-based domestic stuff like air conditioners and refrigerants, they just rise up to the stratosphere. Next, what happens? When sunlight comes in touch with the CFCs, it breaks them up, releasing chlorine. Okay, chlorofluorocarbons. I told you that, right? So when UV reacts with CFCs, it can release chlorine. Okay, what happens next? Chlorine reacts with the ozone, which is part of the stratosphere. When chlorine reacts with the ozone, it destroys the ozone, and that causes holes in the ozone layer. More and more holes depletes the ozone layer. Okay, yes, and in order to spread awareness about this, we observe what is called the World Ozone Day on September 16th. Okay, so what is the solution to this? Basically, these days, because people are becoming more and more aware of this, commercially companies are producing refrigerators and air conditioners which are CFC free and so on, which are said to be environment friendly and eco-friendly. So opting for such alternatives, or I think because we have to look for a balance between being able to use it. We can't do without refrigerators in today's world, right? Air conditioners, of course, probably people who live in cooler cities of the world, around the world, are fortunate enough to be able to live without air conditioners, but refrigerators can be a little hard to live without. So opting for eco-friendly models would probably be a better idea. Okay, I think there are different alternatives for that, but ultimately everything boils down to one single thing: avoid or reduce the use of CFC related articles. Okay, and yes, there is one more term that you have to know in this chapter, which is biomagnification. Okay, so what exactly is this? Basically, this is how you would define it. Any concentration of a toxin, okay, such as for instance pesticides, in the tissues of organisms at successively higher levels in a food chain. What do we mean by that? Bio magnification, something is getting magnified. Because it is in the living tissues, we call it biomagnification. What is getting magnified? Let's look at that. You may be able to understand better. Yes, Zia. You may be able to understand better by a look at this. For example, DDT, okay, is one chemical which used to be a very, very commonly used pesticide a very long time ago, okay, about 20-30 years ago. Especially in America, it was a lot on the rise, okay, the use of DDT as a pesticide, okay. So yeah, so what happened is, eventually over a few years of using it, researchers noticed that there was a lot of DDT levels accumulated in water. Then what happened? There were a lot of producers of plants, phytoplankton, which were dependent on the water, because phytoplankton, they are microscopic plant-like organisms which live inside water. They are the producers of the ocean, right? So because they were living in that environment, this DDT accumulated in phytoplankton's bodies. And then what happened? Zooplankton, the next trophic level. Zooplankton are organisms which depend on phytoplankton for their food. So what happens next? The toxic level of DDT, the number that you can see here, yes, the number that you can see that I have mentioned on the right side, and here it's 1000, of course it's there just for representation purpose. It's just increasing many-fold with every trophic level. Yes, guys. So you can see phytoplankton have a lot more DDT in their tissues as compared to what was in the water. Zooplankton have even more as compared to phytoplankton. Small fish which feed on zooplankton have even higher levels in their living tissues, and larger fish which feed on the smaller fish have even higher levels. And ultimately, the fish-eating birds, the highest predators, apex predators, have the highest level of DDT in their living tissues. Yes, which basically means, I'm just trying to tell you that simple DDT is only an example. It can be anything, especially something like pesticides can get accumulated. It never goes off. What is there in plants gets magnified many-fold in the body of the animal that feeds on the plant. If an animal eats another animal, the amount of that DDT or amount of that chemical even multiplies further in that particular animal, and so on and on and on. Okay? And because of this, because it is magnifying the level of the pesticide or the chemical, is magnifying with every trophic level, and that too inside the living tissues, we call this biomagnification. Okay, this is a term that you should never forget. Okay, as a biology student, you must know what is biomagnification. And that brings us to the end. This is just, I just put it here as a general measure as a few general measures collectively put as a flow chart to prevent and control pollution. Of course, in general, for any kind of pollution, reduce, eliminate, treat, segregate, dispose. All of these can help us keep a check on pollution levels. Yes, children? Yes, and with that, let's go to the quiz time. Very, very simple and quick quiz time. The very first question, name a disease, okay, caused by prolonged exposure to radiation. Who is going to give me the answer? Yes, of course, Ayush, I do remember you. How can I forget my regular students? Cancer. Anwar has given me the answer first. Yes, very good, Mansi and Anwar. Cancer is indeed the answer. Yes, the disease caused by prolonged exposure. Yes, guys. Next question. Which among these is the main cause of ozone depletion? Okay, let me not block the options for you. Have a look at the options. Is it SO2? Is it CO2? Is it CFCs? Is it NO2? Yes, quick. A lot of you say CFC, 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 and definitely you are right. Chlorofluorocarbons. Next question. Ozone layer is present in the which of these layers? Yes. We've gone to the next question. I don't want to hear the answer CFC anymore. Yes, I am South Indian, Rukmini. A, B, C. I'm getting a lot of answers. Most of you say it's A, is it? Wow, now I know how many of you actually paid attention to my class. Unfortunately, only very few of you said yes. Ayush says stratosphere. I did see someone else. Unfortunately, I did not notice the name. Stratosphere is the correct answer. Ozone layer is part of your stratosphere. And another question, International Ozone Day. I've told you the answer to this. Who's going to tell me? No options for this. Very, very simple, because I told you the answer in the session. Someone's gonna, yes, Zia the legend has given me the answer first. I hope that was from your memory and not Googled. Yes, 16 September is observed as International Ozone Day. Great job, Zia. And this is your homework question for the day. What is the Swachh Bharat campaign? Okay, all of you know this. One of the best measures adopted by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, Swachh Bharat campaign. But what was it about? Okay, and secondly, what is Montreal Protocol? Okay, that is also something that you have to know, something that you can write with a little bit of research. I don't want a very, very long answer. Very short and crisp answer, which is completely explaining what I have asked you. Okay, just that much. Okay, yes, Kirtana, if you are asking me about which state I am from the state of Kerala. Okay, and thank you very much, children. If you have enjoyed today's session, please do hit the like button. Do not forget, hit it right now. Please share it with all your friends who are finding this chapter difficult. And please do remember to subscribe to the channel Vedantu 9 and 10. In the meantime, if you have any queries, please do not hesitate to send me an email at ambika.gopalakrishnan@vedantu.com. Until we meet again. Okay. Yes, Kirtana. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for joining me today, children. Have a wonderful evening until we meet again tomorrow in yet another interesting sessions. This is Ambika signing off. Bye-bye.